Hi all, back again. Don't you like how it's so sporadic with how I do videos? Keeps you on your toes. So basically, I am going to try to refocus myself a little bit in my activism, I guess. I don't know. Is it activism? I don't know. Basically, I've been talking about transition and detransition and what it's meant for me and the harms it's brought to me and what I believe is unethical treatment in the medical community for, 3 years, And I've been doing it, trying to take on the whole concept of transition as medical necessary treatment, which I think it's not. That's my opinion. You are free to disagree with me. Um, the important thing to keep in mind with me is that I like to try to stay somewhat nuanced. Um, I also am fine with people disagreeing with me, and we can agree to disagree. Let's just have a conversation about it. I'm really about freedom of speech, freedom to speak your mind, freedom to exchange ideas, even when those ideas can be shit and can be really hurtful to some people. I think ideas should be discussed. Okay, so that's where I come from. Um, but my focus has been very wide for years, and I'm tired, and I don't want to do. I don't want to take on the whole. What feels like the whole world all the time. Basically, I am going to focus, and I am going to focus in on the butch lesbian experience because I think it's a very important experience. It's an experience that isn't talked about much. I think that they're not to sound like a complete tool. Um, and I think there needs to be maybe some education for everybody. Well, I don't know. I think there needs to be some education for other lesbians about those of us who do struggle with gender dysphoria and those of us who do really struggle with being female and being women and what that means to us and I think it can be very helpful to have a detransitioned butch lesbian talk about what led me to this place, how transition felt for me, what the process was like, and then why I decided to detransition. Um, I've talked about these things before. You can find my other videos where I talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm going to try to maybe do maybe a more focused timeline, approaching it from the butch lesbian like perspective, and hopefully it'll be helpful. Um, I just I have always been very community focused. That's just how I am. I and philosophical side note here. I feel that Western culture and definitely our society is more individualistic focused, and I run up against that a lot because for me, I view things as like a whole. Like I view, yes, people are individuals, but also we aren't because we are swimming in this soup of humanity and we have been for millions of years, and you cannot pull the individual person out of the culture. um, they are the culture. And so I think when you talk about gender dysphoria, when you talk about transition, when you talk about butch lesbian experience, lesbian community, um, it is a whole, and you cannot pluck a single person out of that whole that they live in and then, I guess, basically say, oh, they made this choice. It's best for they know what's best for them. They did this, and they're an adult and they can do this. And okay, but also I feel like in a community, if one of your people is in pain and doing something that might not be the best for them, we should care about that and maybe see if there's ways we can support people who struggle in our community and make them feel more at home and make them feel more safe and comfortable with themselves as they are, so that they don't feel like they have to change themselves. That's all I'm saying. So moving forward, I am going to try to just focus on the butch lesbian experience, and hopefully that makes a difference. I feel like my energy is best spent there because that's who I am and that's who I care about.